Message to the group asking them to come to us. Two, 3 meses. I think, yeah. And the bags is not the key. That's okay, okay, right. Okay, so we'll start then others come. Spread all the class. Okay, this matter. The last week we were talking about technology management within organizations. So we discussed a bit about different how the things has changed within organization with the use of technology. So the role of technology, changing organizational behavior. That is what we discussed last week. And thereafter, today we have to discuss a certain area of lesson 2, which I did not discuss last week. And I will quickly go through on the most important areas, and also then we go to lesson 3. Right. So when it comes to organization, even though they invest money and acquire technology, there are a lot of challenges. So being managers, being accountants, and being functional managers, we should know about these challenges. Then only we can successfully support organization to implement these things without making losses to the organization. And it's true that one of the biggest challenge that the organization faces is strategic alignment. So all these things should align with the goals and mission of the organization. And we do this and that and everything to achieve those goals. We go for investment, we acquire technology, we try to enhance productivity, operational efficiency, everything we do to achieve organizational goals. So being responsible persons, we have to ensure that we are on the track. So if we get the right technology, if we use it properly, if we get the, agility of people that we have, then maybe we can align everything to strategic goals. Otherwise, we find a lot of problems. And there are a lot of trends of technology, and those influence the strategic direction of the organization as well. So we have a certain goal, and the things change so quickly, and we use technology. So we have to sometimes expedite our work. So with the use of these technology. අවුරුදු 5කින් කරන්න හිතපු එක සමහරට අවුරුද්දෙන් විතර කරලා ඉවර වෙන්න වෙනවා. එතකොට ඒ අපි හිතන් හිතපු vision එක it's not no more vision, it has become a mission no kind of objective. Then ඔක උනානේ අපිට during COVID pandemic. We have never thought of doing lectures online, and we have never thought of doing exams online. නේද? අවුරුදු කීයකින් online කරන්න අපි හිතලා තිබුණා සමහර වෙලාවට. Mainly for undergraduate. For postgraduate students, we have already started because there are courses where coding students also join. But for undergraduates, we have never thought of doing exams online. But we had to do. Maybe if the other external conditions change or the technology change. So the strategic alignment is important, and also when the things change in this contemporary business environment, we have the responsibility of upgrading things and align with those changes. So it's a kind of challenge. We should have capable people with the knowledge, and also we have enough time and cost and everything. And also another one is globalization. We see the good things of globalization, but it's one of the biggest challenge. So we have to, there are a lot of challenges to organizations when the markets open for the global work in the business perspective. And on the other side, when it comes to business organizations, managing things globally is not that easy. There are a lot of challenges. And also architectural challenges. We know, even in a case of system implementation, prior to that, we have to do a kind of business process re-engineering. Have you heard of that thing? Because the way that we work within the organization or the manual process, the system that we have within the organization cannot automate as it is. We have to make changes as to the requirements of the system. Even අපි හිතමු accounting section එකේ ඉන්න පිරිස සහ ඒගොල්ලෝ කරන job roles system එක එනකොට ඒ විදිහටම system එකට දාන්න බෑ. What we have to do based on the functionalities available at the system, we have to make the changes to the process that we already have. So we have to re-engineer. We have to make them standardized. So it's a kind of challenge. In that case, there are a lot of problems. There's a way of commanding. There's a way of making decisions. ඉස්සර බලය තියාගෙන ඉන්නවා decisions ගන්න මම කියලා. දැන් system එක දාපු ගමන් එයා decisions ගන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. data එක information එක හැමෝටම පේනවා ඕන කෙනෙක්ට ටක් ගාලා වැඩේ කරන්න පුළුවන්. So there are a lot of cultural and other organizational resistance comes. So those are biggest challenges. We have to manage the people within organization. We have to explain them. We have to, educate them. There are a lot of architectural changes happen. So through the education, training and development, we have to get them involved and increase the rate of acceptance. So it's a kind of challenge. It's not that easy. So what we see in Sri Lanka currently, organizations invest money on the systems, but when it comes to implementation, there are a lot of challenges. Even the government organizations, we see that there's a very good, but comparatively, now the people change, but there is a layer, mainly not the young adults who are, mainly less than 40 age. So they work with technology and they like to make the change. But when it comes to top level managers in Sri Lanka mainly, still they resist these digital technologies. Maybe that the knowledge, skills, and competencies that have is very low. So a lot of cultural issues and a lot of related matters are there. So those comes as challenges. And also investment is itself a challenge. Maybe that we anyway allocate funds and go for the system. But with the time we have to go for upgrades and training and development, some of other additions and so on. Maybe we find difficult. And responsibility and control. So we have to think of the security aspect of the technology that we use, and also we ensure that the facility is being provided without disruptions. So then the trust of users, goes down. If the system has a lot of errors, bugs, and for some days it works, and the other day it doesn't work. So the people then get used to do the things manually and also at the system. එහෙමත් තියෙනවා. ලංකාවේ companies තියෙනවා manual recording සුත්තියා ගන්නවා system එකකට දානවා. වැඩක් නැහැ. නේ? එතනදී වැඩ වැඩි වෙනවා. මිනිස්සු කැමති නැහැ ගොඩක් වෙලාවට අපේ වැඩ වැඩි වෙනවා system එකකට ආවම. ගොඩක් වෙලාවට මම දන්න cases තියෙනවා එහෙම කරන්නේ මේ ඒකත් කරන්න ඕනේ හින්දා audit එකක් යන හින්දා system එකකට ඒවා fill කරනවා. Manually records සුත්තියා ගන්න. Something, the objective is not achieved in that case. Okay. And the other section is about IT infrastructure, but this part you have already studied in MIS, right? Many of the contents I again checked in the course contents. Some of the contents are already studied in MIS course. So I will not discuss in detail those things as we have studied. එකමයි ඒක අර course එක හදනකොට සමහර විට cross check කරලා නැතුව වෙන්නේ නැති. මොකද අර ඒ related courses යනකොට ඒ contents අපව repeat කරලා තියෙනවා. So we can avoid them as we have the basic understand. You know what is IT infrastructure, right? All the facilities that we need to have the particular technology. So what I added to the note, you can go through in any case if you have forgotten. So all hardware, software, networks, and all other facilities. So it's really important, otherwise we can't do anything. Whatever the technology we acquire, if we don't have infrastructure, we cannot use the technology. So it's obvious. Go through these notes. And also these trends, platform trends also, I think, familiar to you. We use mobile devices and also cloud computing. We all are clients of cloud computing. So at least we have Google accounts. It's cloud computing. So all our data is saved in somewhere else. We don't know where it is. Do you know where the data is saved? It's on cloud. Neither. All the data that you have saved on this Google Drive, OneDrive, it's not saved in your personal computer. It's on cloud. So why we use the term cloud here? It's in somewhere else, right? So somewhere else, definitely in one of the computers server, right? Saved in somewhere else securely. But we get the access free of charge and we use it. And facilities are provided up to a certain capacity in free of charge. And thereafter, if you need further, you can pay and acquire, depending on your requirement. Extend then you can go for subscription, make a payment annually or quarterly, then you can get the facility. So there are a lot of concerns about security and reliability, but we still believe that the data is safe and reliable. So our cost of investment, cost of having storages has gone down. Otherwise, we had to use the previous days when we were undergraduates. We did not have this cloud computing. What we did, we used pen drives or the disks to save the assignments and all. But now, we don't want such equipment. We can save everything on cloud. And wherever you are, you can access to your resources. If you have internet, then easily you can work with that without any cost. Cost එකක් නැහැ නේ. email එක කියන්නේ කොච්චර ලොකු facility එකක්ද නේ. හැම දෙයක්ම අපේ ගොඩක් දේවල් සහ data හැම දෙයක්ම තියෙනවා. But we don't pay. So up to that level, the things has improved. So we move towards managing technology for organizations. Why actually this is that much discussed? Due to the failures and due to the challenges, even though whatever the millions of money you invest, if you do not properly manage these technologies, you won't achieve expected objectives. So we have to ensure that we acquire right technology and we use it properly and we get the expected usage of that technology. So we discussed a little bit about this. So strategic, in the case of technology management, these are some of the important aspects that we have to think of. Strategic alignment, as I told you previously, we have to ensure the technology is aligned with the strategies of the organization. And resource allocation. So resource allocation is another challenge in the case of technology management. Because if the company is previously, conduct their activities manually, and if they had manual system, and now they decide to automate the things. In such a situation, people within the organization has already assigned tasks. And when we go to the project, we separately form a project team, and maybe we recruit separate employees to the project team, but most of the time what happens, we take individuals from different departments and make the project team. Say for example, we automate accounting function and also marketing and HR. Then we, take people from each of those functional departments and put them into the project team. But there are a lot of issues in such cases. In that case, they are responsible for doing project activities and also for their relevant functional activities. So we have to carefully handle such situations, asking functional managers to release them for a certain time period. Otherwise, they get stressed and they cannot manage the tasks. We see a lot of cases, employees are assigned, but they are not released from a particular function, saying that they don't have enough people. Or challenges, practical challenges. එතකොට ඒ මනුස්සයාට එකක්වත් හරියට කරන්න බෑ. ප්‍රොජෙක්ට් එකේ වැඩ ටිකක් ඒ ඕන වෙලාවට විතරක් කරනවා අරකට හදිසි වැඩ ටික කරලා දෙනවා. Resource allocation is very important. So it's about HR, but when it comes to budget allocation, that is also important. We have to ensure we have enough money, but always we have to go with the kind of margin or a markup because prices change so quickly. So in the case of automation project, normally it takes nearly 2 to 3 years. Even if we automate 1 or 2 functions. So it's not something that we can do within 1 month. We have to do business process re-engineering, and also then we have to, customize the system, and we have to implement this training and development and a lot of things. So there's a huge cost involved. In each of the year budget, there should be an allocation. Incremental allocation should be there. Otherwise, with these crises, and there are a lot of unexpected things happen. So we won't be able to do the things as we expect. And then COVID pandemic I had one of the interviews with HR managers of brands. Yes. So they were in a project of automation. In that time, she said that the project dragged nearly for 4.5 years. The funds funds sales unexpected things may happen. So we had to ensure before you go to the project, start the project, you have to ensure that we have enough money at least to complete this at a certain level. Ensure otherwise it's a cost. Millions of money invested, it's a cost. So another case that I know, it's not a recent case, one of the old one. When it comes to Dankotua porcelain, actually they earn losses for number of years. If you know, Dankotua porcelain loss පිට දිව්වේ. හේතුව මොකක්ද? මැෂින් එකක් ගෙනල්ලා ඒකට ටෙක්නොලොජි ගන්න ඒගොල්ලන්ට ගත්ත අර ප්‍රොඩක්ෂන් ටෙක්නොලොජි එක ඒක හරියට වැඩ කරගන්න බැරි වෙලා. Millions of money have invested on that machine. එතකොට ගෙනාවට පස්සේ ඒකට ගෙවන්න ඕනේ. නමුත් ඒකෙන් ජෙනරේට් වෙන්නේ නැහැ මොකක්වත්. ඒකට loss එකක්. පොඩි ගණන් නෙමෙයිනේ. ඒ වගේ ලොකු serious cases තියෙනවා. Company එකක් bankrupt වෙන්න උනත් පුළුවන්. මේ technology decisions හරියට ගත්තේ නැත්නම්. Therefore, these are very serious. The risk management. මේක තමයි ඒක. There's a huge risk. We have to identify all these risks and come up with some, actions, precautionary actions for all the identified risks. If something happens, this is the alternative. We have to go with alternatives and risk management plan. And also, there should be a very good IT management team. A separate department, if possible, making them responsible for all the aspects of the project. Maybe networks, maybe security, maybe, hardware and software. So in that way, we have to take care of these matters as well. And analysis and intelligence. So this is one of the other part when we go with the system. Say for example, in the accounting department, say we automate the whole accounting process. Then the analysis and all other things can be done using the system. So we have to teach people, we have to empower their knowledge and enhance their competency to get the maximum use of them. Sometimes the applications are available, but we don't use because we don't know how to use. Then one done my PhD එකට අදාළ නිසා මම ගොඩාක් Sri Lankan cases දන්නවා. ඒ වගේ වෙන්නේ මේකක් තියෙනවා. හැබැයි තව කාට හරි දීලා වෙන කම්පැනි එකකට අවුට්සෝස් කරලා ඇනලිසිස් ටික කරලා ගන්නවා. ඒව ප්‍රශ්න. එහෙම නැත්නම් Excel ගන්නවා ඒකට. System එකෙන් කරන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙම නැත්නම් මේකට මොකක් හරි plugin එකක් දාගෙන හරි integration එකක් කරගෙන වැඩේ data ටික export කරගෙන ලේසියෙන් කරන්න පුළුවන්. නමුත් still we use Excel or something. ඒක වෙන්නේ අර knowledge එකයි competency එක skill එක නැතිකම නිසා. එතකොට ඒක අපරාධ. Say that we use the system, we enter this and that and everything, the vouchers, bills and everything. So it has all data. And if we can use analytics embedded there and screen information and get the most important information for an analysis, we get the right decision. But otherwise, if we download set of data and if we do this manually, it's so difficult. Sometimes we may not include most important data to the pool. As we are working with big data. So we have to try our level best to use the technology that we have for analysis, and also some other, estimating trends and other things as well. And we can use the cloud computing. Cybersecurity is one of the other important things. User experience, we have to take care of these things as well. We have to get their involvement since the beginning. And also, we have to ensure that we come up with a system which is user-friendly. There's a huge resistance from employees. They say that it's difficult for us to work with this system. If we introduce the system at the end, that happens. But since the initiation at the planning stage, if we get their involvement, asking them which kind of support you need, if we go for a system, what kind of outcomes that you expect, and we can have their ideas and incorporate them. So at the end, they will not resist whatever the thing that you offer. So we can use them for digital marketing as well. So those are the aspects we have to think of in the case of technology management. So these are some of the technologies available. I think everything is familiar for us. Cloud computing, AI, we are using AI and each and every technological application, mainly information systems embedded with AI tools, and data analytics is available, and security aspect, and marketing. Fine. So quickly go with fintech. So what you know about fintech? What is the meaning of the term fintech? Financial technology. Fintech. So what do you mean by this? Fintech, financial technology. It's very simple. Using technology to manage financial services. So we are clients, we are customers of banks using fintech. We use mobile banking and other facilities offered by the banks. So those are fintech. Finance and technology are combined. Use of technologies to support accounting and finance services. That is fintech. Yes. And advancement to the automation, delivery, processing, and use of financial services and products. So these are some of the examples: blockchain, IoT, cloud computing, machine learning, artificial intelligence. So we all are clients, customers of fintech. So banking industry, receive a lot of benefits as other industries. When it comes to banking industry, they mainly use these technologies to provide a better service to their customers. So they try to automate their services, reduce the labor pressure, enhance the efficiency, effectiveness of their transactions, and mainly save their time. Yes, so we see that as users, time to time we receive upgrades and they come up with new versions of their applications and so on. So with the developments of technology, they engage with those things. So provide mainly the convenience to users. So wherever we are, whatever the time, we can now engage with banking activities. It's because of fintech. So in these cases, fintech is being used: stock trading, blockchain, mobile banking, digital payment wallets, as we are using crowdfunding, and insurance. In these cases, we are using. I hope you have heard of blockchain. Also, I forgot to say. So, yes, PowerPoint slide. So I'm using what is uploaded here. So it's difficult for me to handle this here. Have you heard of blockchain? What do you mean by that? Blockchain කියන්නේ මොකක්ද? It's kind of decentralized ledger. It's a ledger, a virtual ledger, digital database or ledger that is distributed among the nodes for the peer-to-peer network. So, without being that too technical, just to explain you this simply, this is something like a decentralized ledger. When we pass a transaction, normally it records in two places in the ledger, in credit side and debit side. In blockchain, the record or the transaction is recorded in somewhere else too. So in this technology, when a new transaction occurs, it is also verified by the previous transaction and it is added to the same ledgers. And no one can change them. Even one party who enters the transaction change that one, it doesn't change at the other place because it's already saved and verified. But now what happens, even just think of banking transaction, what we do the transaction and all transaction data is with the bank. They can change them, they can do whatever the thing if they want. So we still rely and we are afraid of making banking transaction. අපි දැන් බැංකුත් එක්ක අපේ තියෙන account එකේ transaction කරනකොට මම මෙයාට සල්ලි දැම්මා කියලා හිතන්නකෝ. එතකොට මගෙන් අඩු වෙනවා මෙයාට එනවා. record වෙන්නේ කොහොමද දැන් වෙයි system එකේ. නේ එතකොට දැන් සමහර දවසට අපිට දවසක් විතර ගිහිල්ලා එනවා නම් alert එක අපි පොඩ්ඩක් එදා දවස් අවුලෙන් ඉන්නේ. වයින් ඒ වෙලෙම අපිට දැන් එනවනේ SMS එක. ඔකට අපි දන්නවා ගියා කියලා. But still, the data is recorded somewhere else. But if the banks want to do something wrong, they should do. But in blockchain, it doesn't happen. The transaction recorded in somewhere else on cloud and in this technology. So it is somewhat advanced even in Sri Lanka up to a certain level. Blockchain technology is used, but not that popular. And crowdfunding is also we see. That means in the case of investment, collecting small amount money from large number of people, they go for the investment. So we see this virtually in Facebook post or whatever. Maybe not for business purpose, but for donation purpose as well. දැන් කෙනෙක්ට අසනීප වෙලා සල්ලි එකතු කරන්නේ ඉස්සර තිබුණානේ පාරවල් වල ඇවිල්ලා නතර කරන් ඉඳලා මිනිස්සුන්ගෙන් සල්ලි එකතු කරගන්න. ඒ වගේ in this case, say for example, you want to start a business, you can go for crowdfunding. In crowdfunding, you create a kind of Facebook page or whatever the technological platform, and you make others aware of what you're going to do. And you may offer some of the benefits plan as well. ඕකම වෙන විදිහට ලංකාවේ business වලත් යනවා. ඔය කියන්නේ ඔය concept එක තමයි යන්නේ. ටිකක් invest කරන්න පුළුවන් අපිට ඉස්සරහට මෙහෙම යන්න. So in that case, what are the benefits for the person who is managing this? Even though I don't have money, I can have a huge amount of money and time from large group of people. And also from the investor side, as you invest a small amount of money, you don't that much care of it. And අපි donate කරාට ඒක ඇක්චුලි හිතන්න නැහැ පොඩි ගාණක්. එතකොට මේක ලොකුවට වෙනකොට ලොකු ගාණක් එකතු කරගන්න පුළුවන්. And then go for an investment. And if it is successfully occurs or the achieved, then benefits are given to the people. Something like that. That is the concept. It applies in business world, crowdfunding. If we talking about elections and crowdfunding examples, businesses සමහර වෙලාවට එනවනේ ඔයාට පොඩි ගානකින් මේකට ඉන්වෙස්ට් කරන්න පුළුවන් ඊට පස්සේ මෙහෙම කියලා. So ඔය plantation එක නම් මට I'm not sure whether it's crowd funding. Sometimes ඒක විදිහට ගන්න පුළුවන්. පොඩි ගානක් ඉන්වෙස්ට් කරන්න ඊට පස්සේ benefits එනවා long term කියලා නේ. But being customers, when we go for them, we have to be really, serious and take care of these. Yes, AI, machine learning, deep learning, all these technologies are embedded in these fintechs, right? Robotic process automation. So then the things has become really easy. Machine learning, so the machine or the technology that we use with the assessing behavior or the pattern of making decisions. So the computer itself learn and support with the application. Deep learning, cybersecurity, all these are embedded technologies. Yes, this is not only support banking industry, but also all other financial services. Maybe leasing, maybe credit handling, or whatever. Latest trend in all aspects is the application of AI. So AI embedded applications are the latest trend. Okay, finally in this lesson we have to talk a little bit about technology management process. Even though I was telling you that this is that much important, this much important, we have to take care of this. Being managers, we have to have an understanding on stages or the steps of managing technology. So one model is introduced by Gregory in 1995. So it is called as Gregory's 5-process model. So you are not required to remember the name of the researcher, but you have to have a kind of understanding of the steps. Because in one day, when you engage in this kind of technology management process, then you should know what things that you have to do. You have the first thing is identification. You have to identify right technology. වැරදි එක මුලින්ම වැරදි එකක් මේව කරගත්තොත් එතනින්ම වැරදිනවා. So identify right technology. So you will have to do a research on this and compare a lot of technologies, taking a lot of case studies and examine a lot of case studies which is already implemented and identify the relevant technology, and you have to do a market scanning and information management things. And then the selection. Then you have to select. You may come up with number of alternatives and you may assess each alternative separately and you then go for selection. You select one and then you have to focus. You have to think of how it change your business organization and how it suits to your business organization. And you can do some benchmarking and that kind of preliminary tasks. And the other thing is acquisition. So in this case, you have to ensure how you do the business process re-engineering and all. And under acquisition, you decide all internal activities. So what kind of change to be done, how we manage the project, and also how the technology is integrated, and some of the research and development activities you will have to do within the organization to decide the way of acquisition. And there are a lot of methods of acquisition. Sometimes we, go for parallel implementation. We have manual system and also at the same time, we start the automated computer system as well. Sometimes we go for direct implementation. එකපාරටම manual එක නවත්තලා බහුවදා ඉඳන් system එකෙන් කියලා කියනවා. ඒ වගේ we have to decide and those things we have to think of. Then exploitation. That means once we implement it, we have to ensure that this technology works properly within the organization and it ensures achieving expected objectives and all. If there is another support is needed, we have to ensure how we do it and go for improvements. And also protection. This is something like, core, and it relates to whatever the level. So we have to always think of how we protect the technology and also how we ensure the security of technology that we use. Security of, when it comes to our discipline, it comes under service sector. So we have to always ensure the security of information, data and information. Yes. Okay, so those are the main steps. Then role we have already discussed some of the additional things I have given. So we will do a small activity, then you will understand whether you can you just go to LMS? I have added a small activity. Can you enter something? LMS again. I have added the link. Go to that link and type an answer and submit. On third week, in-class discussion, importance of technology management for an organization. When you click it, you will go to tablet. Just write an answer and share. LMS के third week के link के काम करते हैं। When you click on the link, you will come to this tablet. So, as you understand by your own words, without searching ChatGPT, Gemini, or whatever AI tool, by your own words, please write. I can understand whether it is AI written or human written. Human විදියට ලියලා දෙන්න කියලා AI එකට ගහලා දැම්මත් මට අඳුරන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙමනේ කරන්නේ ගොඩක් වෙලාවට. By your own words you write. I want your own answers. Online students, you too can join with the discussion. If you can come up with some real world example, maybe in Sri Lankan context or whatever global, you can provide those as well. Examples then පුළුවන් නම් ඒවත් දීලම ලියන්න. Everyone have to write an answer, right? System itself gives some nice names to you, right? So you can rename them if you want. Don't need. Okay, come up with some examples. Can you please try? Some of the known examples which you can give to each of these points. So you say that organizations achieve operational efficiency. Any example? Competitive advantages. Any example? Maybe taking whatever the industry that you like. Maybe banking, maybe manufacturing or retail, whatever. Being clients, we have a lot of examples. Answers are also there, and when you have given an answer, I will answer. No examples? See how the quality improves when you give examples and come up with the point. Yeah? So always when you write answers for this subject, come up with your own examples. Maybe from the example from the company that you work through, or be a customer, the examples that you have. So we are using these technologies, and also that's how you add the uniqueness to your answer. So normally when we see the answers of nowadays students, most of the answers are very general. So even if I just ask you to write something to the given question, maybe that you use your smartphone and search for ChatGPT, Gemini or whatever, and got the answer and copy paste and submit it. So I just check. There are a number of answers which are generated by AI, not your own answers. Very few. මට ඕන මේක දිහා බලලා කියන්න. මෙන්න මේවා තමයි පිළිලියපු ටික අනිත් ඔක්කොම ගත්ත ටික කියලා. හරිද? ඒක නිසා මොකද වෙලා තියෙන්නේ? Quality of writing your own answers goes down. When we mark examination papers, We really experience this, not like previous days. Then how to question papers is all the varieties of answers. Maybe I mean the varieties means same answer, but each of the answer had their own uniqueness. මෙතන ඉන්න 20 දෙනා උත්තර 20ක් ලියනකොට එකම එකට ලියනවා. but එයාගේ අර මේ personal flavour එක ඒ answer එකේ තියෙනවා. with their own own thinkings, creativity, and some more examples and all. But now, in most of the cases, we don't see it. Because when you are practicing, you use the technology. That is one of the bad side, bad impact to human intelligence. Instead of human intelligence, now we are replacing it with artificial intelligence. But the creativity goes down. You have to always think of it. Doesn't matter that you search for an answer, but always, try to make your own answer based on the facts that you collect. If not, write your own answer and give it to AI and ask to improve it. Always, when any of the lecturer asks you to write an answer, please challenge yourself. Because this is for your survival. One day you will become managers. If you lost your mobile phone or computers, without technology, you have to work. What happens? Never. You have to use your intelligence. And also one other thing you have to always think of, when you complete this degree, how much knowledge that you acquired. There should be a significant change in your knowledge when you complete an honors degree. Then others. So if I look back and think of my undergraduate period, there is a significant, transformation. I know how I started and I saw how I ended. Because it's because of knowledge creation, knowledge generation and all. So university education is that. Because we are young adults. This is a very good age where we enhance our creativity and our novelty, creative thinking and all. We have to let it happen. Otherwise, then we can't go we can have it comment. Then my mama appreciate ChatGPT මෙතන දැන් මේ උත්තරේ ලියන්න පුළුවන් කිසි තුනක් තියෙනවා. එකක් තමයි ඔයා ඔය පොඩේ කොමෙන්ට් හරි වැටෙනවා දැන්. එකක් තමයි you write your own answer. මම නෝට් එක මම දන්න නෝට් එකේ ස්ක්‍රීන් එකේ තියෙනවා. මේ AI දාලා ගන්න පුළුවන් මට තනිය ලියන්නත් පුළුවන්. එතකොට ඔයගොල්ලන් තනියමත් ලියන්න ඇති කවුරුද? right? තව එක්කෙනෙක් ස්ලයිඩ්ස් එකට ගිහිල්ලා ඒකෙන් බලලා අරගෙන ලියන්නත් ඇති. එහෙමත් තිබ්බා. තව එක්කෙනෙක් කෙලින්ම අරගෙන කොපි කරලා දැම්මා. ආපු ටික පොඩ්ඩක් අඩු කරා එහෙම මේක කැපුවා වොයිස් ටිකක් හැදුවා එහෙම දානවා සමහර එහෙම මතාලා තියෙනවා ඔය තුනට යන්නේ ඔයා එහෙද ඔය කියන්න ඕනේ පළවෙනි කොට මම මෙච්චර තමයි මේක අහන් හිටියා so I test myself whether I can come up with some idea and if you can match it one of your own example or real world example if you add the answer that is great ඒක තමයි මට ඕනේ but if at least you go with the second option, that is also comparatively good. Kelimma ChatGPT or whatever AI දාන්න නැතුව note එක දීම බලනවා ඒක ලියුවට අරට වඩා ටිකක් හරි හොඳයි. මොකද you remember. ඊළඟ දවසේ ඔළුවට එනවා මම මේ වෙලේ මේ විස් ප්‍රශ්නයක් දුන්නා මම note එක බැලුවා මේක කියලා උත්තරේ කියලා ආගොල්ලේ save වෙනවා. මේකත් මතකෙ නැහැ. If you put the question to AI and you get the answer and put it here, you don't remember. If you write something, you remember. So therefore, my advice is use it to improve your answers, to find something new. But when you write answers, use your own words. Use your own words. And at the examination, anyway, you have to write your own answer. So if you practice this one at this kind of moments, that exam will not be that much difficult. So when I finalize marks of students nowadays, we see average marks. And also when we give marks, out of the method making බලන්නකෝ 10න් නම් මම මේකට ලකුණු දෙන්නේ ගොඩාක් අයට දැන් මෙතන ඔක්කොම මේ ගත්ත උත්තර ටික ඔක්කොම එක වගේනේ පොයින්ට් එක තියෙනවා පොඩි ඩිස්ක්‍රිප්ෂන් එක තියෙන එහෙම යන්නේ එතකොට මේ ඔය වගේම තමයි when you write at the examination quality එක චුට්ටක් අඩු කරලා general points ටික තියෙනවා එතකොට 10න් නම් ලකුණු දෙන්නේ 5ක් තමයි උඩරට අර ඉතුරු 5 ස්කෝර් වෙන්නේ with examples with some of your own things ආංශික බලනකොට මම දන්නවා මේ ළමයිගේ level එක එහෙම නැත්නම් general level එකේ නම් තියෙන්නේ ඉතින් ලකුණු අඩු වෙනවා සමහර වෙලාවට ඔයගලන් හිතලා ඇති මේක මේ අමතර දෙයක් නමුත් ස්ටුඩන්ට්ස් හැටියට වැදගත්ින් තමයි කියන්නේ රිසල්ට් එනකොට B's එනවා නේද B එහෙම වැඩිපුර එනවා ඉන්නවා කොච්චර ලිව්වත් මට B මනේ එන්නේ කියලා දෙනවා සමහර වෙලාවට ඒකකට අපි හිතනවා නෑ මම මේක ඒකකට ලිව්වා කියලා එනකොට රිසල්ට් එක එනකොට එක්කෝ B එකක් B+ එකක් එහෙම තමයි යන්නේ ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයා ලියන එකේ අවුලක් තියෙනවා කොච්චර වැඩ පුළුවන් වුණා කොච්චර ඔයා සබ්ජෙක්ට් එකට දක්ෂ වුණා ඒ වගේ රිසල්ට්ස් එන්නේ ඔයාගේ ප්‍රසන්ටේෂන් එකේ ආන්සර්ස් ලියනකොට ඒකේ තියෙන ක්වොලිටි එකේ අඩුකම සමහර ස්ටුඩන්ට්ස් ලා ඉන්නවා for technical subjects like mathematical subjects A තියෙන maths වලට A තියෙනවා ඒ වගේ වැඩ තියෙනවා නේ හැබැයි ලියන හේවට B C B1 නෝවතුමනි ඒකන තියෙනවාගේ knowledge එක ගැටලුවක් නැහැ ලියන්න බැරි කම presentation skill එක නැහැ එතකොට තමයි ඔය ටික හදා ගන්නවා දැන් එහෙම ළමයි මේ වගේ එකටත් ඔහොම හොයලා ලියන්න ගියාම අදල ලියනකොට නේ ඒ වෙලෙට මොකක් හරි එන එකක් ලියනවා තමයි papers ඔයගලන්ට දුන්නොත් එහෙම බලන්න අනේ කියලා හිතෙනවා දැන් අපිට දැන් papers mark කරද්දී ඇත්තටම මම මේ කියන්නේ මෙතන අපි හිතමුකෝ දැන් කලින් බයිෂලේ කරාට මම ඒව බලපුවාම අපරාධ මෙච්චර දේවල් මේ ළමයිට කිව්වේ කියලා හිතනවා ටර්ම් එක පුරාවට ගොඩක් ඒවා කියනවනේ හැබැයි ළමයි ඔක්කොම මොනවා හරි අර cost effectiveness එහෙම වගේ ජෙනරල් ලෙවල් ලියනවා ඒ මොකද වෙන්නේ ඔයගලන් විභාගෙට ගියාම අර වෙන ඒවා කරලානේ එතනදි මතක් වෙන්නේ අර හැමෝම දන්න ඒවා ටිකනේ ඕකටත් අයිලේ වගේ ඒ ටික ලියලා ආපහු වෙනවා වැඩක් නැහැ එහෙමනේ ඔයගලන් ගාව තියෙනවනේ එහෙම ආන්සර්ස් නේ ඔයගලන් ගාව තියෙන අය වගේ ඩිෆෝල්ට් ආන්සර්ස් ටික ඒ ටික එහෙම දාලා හදලා ලියලා එනවා අර දැන් කොට මම දන්නවා මේ සබ්ජෙක්ට් එකට වෙන වැඩේ MIS එකේ උත්තර කියනවා මේකට ෂුවර් මට හෙව්වේ තේරෙනවද MIS එකේ ඉන්න කියනවනේ එතකොට ඒක පාඩම් දෙක මොනාරි ඉතුරු වෙන ගන්න මොලේ ඇතුලේ ඕවා ලියනවා මේ ක්වෙස්චන් එක එහෙමලා දුන්නා ලියලා කිව්වාට ඇත්තටම මම එක්ස්පීරියන්ස් කරේ ළමයි මේ ඇත්තටම මේ රයිටින් පැත්ත නම් සෑහෙන ඉම්ප්‍රූව් වෙනවා ඔයගලන් සම්මැලි මට ඒක බලපුවම දුක හිතෙන්නේ ඒක මට කැම්පස් ළමයින්ට වඩා ඔයගලන්ට දුකයි මට ඇයි අපි එදා අතිරුත් කියවෙනවනේ ඒගොල්ලන්ට තාන්ඩුවෙන් ගෙවනවා ඒවට මම වෙනම බනිනවා ඒගොල්ලන්ට ඕගලන්ට එහෙම බනින්නේ නැහැ මොකද අපි ගෙවලන් ඉගෙන ගන්නෙ හැබැයි මම ඔයගලන් හරියට කරන්න නැතිනවනේ අර ළමින්ට වගේ වඩා දුකයි ඒගොල්ලන්ට මම බනිනවා නිකන් ඉගෙනගෙන මේ කරගන්න නැති වුණාම රටට ණයයි නේද ණයකාරයෝ වෙන්න එපා කියලා රටට ණය වෙන්න එපා කියලා මේ ඕගලන්ට එහෙම බනින්නේ නැහැ නමුත් මේකේ ප්‍රයෝජනෙ ගන්න ඇත්තටම ඔයාලගේ තියාගන්න plan එක මම quality graduate කෙනෙක් විදිහට out වෙනවා කියලා. නැත්තම් අපරාධේ. Because we have to have our own confidence. Once you complete this degree, නම කියනකොට මේ honors degree එකක් first class කිව්වහම ඒකේ ඒ මොකක්ද gravity එක ඒ weight එක මගේ ගාව තියෙන්න ඕනේ. interview එකකට ගිහිල්ලා නේද? face කරනකොට මම first class කියලා එනකොට මුකුත් නගන්න වැඩද? You are responsible and so take that responsibility now onwards and have your own discipline of working with this technology then you can get the benefit of it otherwise it will harm your uniqueness and the creativity. Okay. So that is a small activity we make. We'll take a small break, 10 minutes water break, washroom break, and we'll come back to the lesson. So we can, finish early if you come early. Not a 30 minutes break, just 10 minutes break. Start discussion. Okay, so now we will start talking something about digitalization and digital transformation. So we were talking about technology management. It's all about digitalization and digital transformation. So organizations use these technologies and the particular activity or the thing is called as digitalization. And if we transform our business model from traditional business to the virtual business, that is a transformation. It's a change, it's a transformation. So that is called as digital transformation. So all our functionalities are conducted through digital platform. In such a situation, we call it as digital transformation. So in between, we go through the ladder starting from digitization, then digitalization, digital optimization, and transformation. Right? So we try to have kind of understanding on these things. So I start from here. Yeah. Okay, so these are the three main stages of this transformation. We start from digitization. What do you mean by digitization? Say that we run the business and all our systems conducted manually. But now, being managers, we decide to automate our business process. We want to digitalize the things using computers and all other technologies. So we start the process. The starting step is digitization. What we do there, technical process of converting analog data into the digital format. What we do, we enter everything to the database, or we enter everything, all our information data to the system. So so far, we may have separate files or other manual hard copy folders. So we try to type and enter everything and create digital contents and create separate folders, maybe in computers, or may and save, or may directly re-enter those data to the system. System එකට කෙලින්ම enter කරනවා වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. එහෙම නැත්නම් system එකට enter කරන්න කලින් අපි අර re-engineer කරන process එකේදී ඔක්කොම data ටික digital content විදියට convert කරගන්න. අපි ගාව තියෙන ඒවා ඔක්කොම හිතන්නකො මේ file එකක් ගන්න තියෙන්නේ. ඒකේ ඔක්කොම evidence තියෙනවා නම් vouchers ඔක්කොම invoices ටික scan කරලා folders හදාගන්න. ඕක තමයි digitization කියන්නේ. ඊළඟට අපිට තියෙන්නේ අර ස්කෑන් කරපු සෙට් එකම සිස්ටම් එකට අප්ලෝඩ් කරන්න. එතකොට එයා ඒ ටික රීඩ් කරලා ඒකේ සේව් කරනවා. ඒ වගේ. එතකොට ඩිජිටයිසේෂන් එක කියලා කියන්නේ මැනුවල් ඒවා. මේ ඇනලොග් ඒවා ටික digital formats වලට convert කරලා save කරගන්න. And that is the initial stage. දැන් හිතන්නකෝ අපි දැන් physical signature එක දානවනේ company එකක උදේම ගිහිල්ලා ඒක වෙනුවට fingerprint එක තියෙනවා. ඒ ටික record වෙනවා. That is digitization. එහෙම නැත්නම් ඔයගලගේ attendance tracking එකත් එහෙම තමයි. පොලේ කට්සන් කරලා ගන්න එක එන්න ගන්නවා වගේ scan කරලා enter කරනවා. The digitize. And the second stage is digitalization. What do you mean by digitalization? So you use technologies to automate business processes. Right? Say for example, you digitize all the components, all the documents that you had, and at the same time, you buy an accounting system or you acquire an ERP system, the finance module, and you try and you start working with the technology or the automated system, not working at the manual system. So far, you manage all accounting activities manually, but today onwards, you work with the accounting package. That is digitalization. The process is automated. Process automation is called as digitalization. Process of using digital data and digital technologies to transform communications, business functions like accounting, finance, HR, marketing, and business models. Simply, we use technologies to automate business processes. So in that case, may not all business functions, but few of the selected. But we know in some organizations, not all business processes are automated, but selected processes are automated. Maybe accounting and finance, maybe inventory management, supply chain management process is automated. And other part, admin part is not automated. So in such a situation is called as digitalization. Using digital technologies to automate business processes. And the last stage is digital transformation. If all business activities are automated, no more manual work, so it is called as digital transformation. Full transformation has occurred and the business model is now changed. It's no more a traditional business. It's a digitalized business, digital business. So fundamental changes in the organizational structure of a particular industry through an optimal integration of traditional processes with digital technology. So we don't have traditional processes now. We use technologies and we have, changed everything and whole business model is changed. That is digital transformation. Physical business එක තිබ්බගෙන මේ systems එක digital business එකට convert වෙන situation එක තමයි digital transformation. Physical workspaces තියනවා වෙන්න පුළුවන් business අපි හිතමු banks කියලා. Think of banks of Sri Lanka. So where they are at digitalization or digital transformation. So most of the banks more towards transformation, but not fully. Still, they have some manual work. So if the whole business is transformed, they should not have any manual work. Everything to be happen through the computers and systems. So in some of the banks, the coordination, administration, and some of the things still conduct manually, but some, yes, I'm not sure of commercial bank, government banks, still they have some of the manual works, but others, some part commercial, I'm not sure. If you are working for these banks, you know the story. If all the functions and all the processes are automated and happens through digital platforms, then it is digital transformation. But if at least one or two of the processes, happens manually, then they are still at the stage of digitalization. So this is the process. So we acquire technology and we move towards. When it comes to Sri Lanka, majority of business organizations are at what stage? Getting it. 1, 2, or 3. As you understand, when it comes to Sri Lanka, majority of business organizations are at Dekada, Tunada, Ekada. Dekada. Yes. At the second stage, digitalization. Some of the modules are transformed, but not all. Right? May digitization එකයි ඉතින් හැමෝම දැන් කරනවානේ හැම තැනකම පොඩි එකක වුණත් එන්ටර් කරගන්නවානේ ඔක්කොම සේව් කරගන්නවානේ කම්පියුටර් එකකනේ. ඒකේ තියෙන දැන් අපි ගොඩක් වෙලාවට ෆයිල් තියාගන්නේ අර ස්මෝල් ස්කේල් ඒවා විතරයි. මීඩියම් ස්කේල් කම්පැනි එක වුණත් බිල් ටික එහෙම ඔක්කොම රෙකෝඩ් කරගන්නවා කම්පියුටර් එකක. ඩිජිටයිසේෂන් කියන ලෙවල් එක ගොඩක් ඒ වගේ තියෙනවා. ගවර්න්මන්ට් ඕගනයිසේෂන්ස් ගත්තා වුණත් මේ digitization කියන එක already achieved because each and everything they try to document in their databases. Yes, so in Sri Lankan context, majority of the organizations are at the they have uploaded the documents, so you can check this thing to see the Sri Lanka context. This is one of the research report, and you go through this one, you will understand the Sri Lankan situation. Here, this is one of the research done by one of the US research institute, McKinsey. So in there, they have analyzed the digital potentiality or the situation of Sri Lanka. I think maybe it's in 2020. Yeah, so a few years ago, the things may have changed up to a certain extent nowadays. You see, do you understand this one? They say that there's a significant variance in digital maturity of Sri Lankan players. Digital maturity means the level which the particular firm is acquired. That means the digital capability matrix. When it comes to organizations, there are a number of models to measure digital maturity. Like, there are very famous models like Deloitte model, or whatever. A lot of institutes have introduced, and even researchers have introduced digital maturity models. So using those maturity models, we can assess the level of digital maturity of these organizations. So they have used one of the models and assess the selected sample organizations and come up with a score. And then they have put them into the particular graph and show us, see the level of maturity of Sri Lankan organization. So when we look there, you see, we have digital laggards. So maybe these companies are still struggling and get into this digitalization process. And the majority, as we just discussed, are digital followers. That means they are in the process, but not, achieve the level of transformation. But there are digital leaders as well. Digital leaders mean in whatever the industry, the firms which have already achieved the level of digital transformation. And the followers means who are in the process of transformation. As we said, the level of digitalization. So even the chart says majority of Sri Lankan organizations are at the stage of digitalization. And they have calculated the mean. This is the model that they have used, McKinsey's model. They have introduced the model digital quotient framework in 4 dimensions. They have assessed the capability of the maturity of digital maturity in 4 aspects: strategy, culture, organization, and capability. They have selected 50 Sri Lankan organizations and come up with this result. And they say that compared with the other countries and also Asia, we are good in some aspects, and also there are a lot of avenues for us to develop. So in the case of, you see here, green color shows outperforming compared to other markets. We are good compared to others. Those are shown in green, right? And in yellow, at par compared to other markets. So yellow color can pennaneva, api egoloi, ikawage, gudam more or less. And red color lagging compared to other markets. So the areas that we have to think of, where we are not efficient or we are poor, the red color one. See here. Link into business strategy, what we discussed now. So we under technology management, we discussed that. One of the main things that we have to take care of is aligning the technology towards the business strategies. We have our vision and mission. Whatever the technology we acquire, we have to ensure that we use it to achieve particular goal. But this report says that we have issues with that. Green color එකට බරයි කියලා මේ red color එකට බරයි කියලා කියන්නේ අපි ඒ පැත්තෙන් poor කියලා. එතකොට link to business strategy poor. අපි ගන්නවා තමයි technology එක. ඒ වුණාට හරියට ඒක align කරගන්නේ නැහැ තාම. We have issues with aligning to business strategy, even though we acquire technology. And also long-term orientation, more long-term orientation. In that regard also we have some issues. We may invest, acquire, we use for a certain time period, and thereafter we go back to the previous version sometimes. We see systems ගන්නවා පාවිච්චි කරනවා. ටික කාලයක් යනකොට ඒක හිතන්නකෝ expire වෙනවා, upgrade එකකට යන්න වෙනවා, එක්ක සල්ලි නැති වෙනවා, ආපහු පරණ විදිහටම කරනවා. එහෙම නැත්නම් කර කර හිටපු එක්කෙනා යනවා, ඊළඟ එක්කෙනා දන්නේ නැහැ. එතකොට එයා දන්න විදිහට කරනවා. ඕවා තමයි වෙන දේවල්. ඒක තමයි අර long term direction එකක් අපිට නැහැ කියන්නේ. Centered around customer needs, in that case we are somewhat good. And risk appetite. So in the case of identifying potential risk and come up with some precautionary actions, we are very poor in that aspect. අපි ගත්තට අපිට capability එක නැහැ මේ වගේ තියෙන risk manage කරගන්න. We have to think of that aspect. Test and learn, speed, agility is good comparatively. Internal collaboration is also somewhat poor. External collaboration is poor. Roles and responsibilities, talent and leadership, average. So we have to provide the better leadership to monitor these projects. Governance and KPIs, digital investments, so we invest. We go for investments and we acquire technology. connectivity, automation. You see here, automation is red color. So that is not happened successfully. That means, even though we acquire full automation, it's not achieved. And IT architecture in that aspect also we are very poor. We are struggling with redesigning organizations. We discussed that fact early in the previous discussion, architecture management. I told you that there's a way of making decisions within the organization, and when a new system comes, everything changes. So people don't like to accept that one. It is one of the biggest problems, and they say it is there at Sri Lankan organization. So likewise, in the case of automation, digitalization, there are a lot of areas that we have to think of. And in this report, they have given the sectorial assessment as well. You see here, median of specific sector, manufacturing, banking, professional services, and so on. E-commerce, obviously, they should have the higher median because those are digital businesses most of the time. And other businesses, they are still at the medium level, not have gone for the transformation. They recommend a lot of things. In the case of development, they propose that we have to think of these as aspects. So, high priority to be given these things. Talent and learn. We want high priority, then not we have to educate our people. That's why these kind of subjects are also incorporated to degree programs. Previously, when we were learning, I too studied finance special degree, but we didn't have this kind of subject because technology was not used in this much. But now you're working with technologies, you have to have that knowledge. So training, development, empowering knowledge, enhancing competency, those are really important. And also connectivity, data-driven decision making. That's why business analysis has increased demand, and we use data analytics tools and techniques. Even we are talking about accounting analytics, financial analytics, and automating our processes and IT architecture. For these areas, we have to give our main focus. So these are some of the suggestions given by the report. So what I wanted to show you is the context, Sri Lankan context, and where we are. And this is really important, and it gives us a message, the companies that we work for, and majority of them are at the stage of digitalization and may have already started automation projects and going on, and they may go for improvements of them. Maybe the older versions are already acquired, and in future you will have to work with the new projects. They will ask you to come up with project proposals and manage some project teams and some technological development of related functions will have to perform. Even you become an accountant or finance manager. So in that case, you have to handle your team and support organization to get the maximum use of technology. Then only they will be successful. Okay. Yes, so we got the understanding on digitalization, digital transformation. So I don't go back to the previous slide. Right. And then yes, we discuss a little bit about technology life cycle. What do you mean by life cycle? Life cycle. We too have a life cycle. What is our life cycle? We started our journey as a newborn, and then toddler, and then we grow up, we become children, and then we become young adults, and then we become elders, and we grow old, and finally, end of the day, we die. And the life cycle. ඔය cycle එකේ තමයි අපි යන්නේ. දැන් ඕකේ ඉන්නේ කොහෙද? මම මැද. ඔයගොල්ලෝ මැදට ටිකක් ළඟ. Right? මැද දාගද කියලා දන්නේ නැහැ. Yes. So we assume that we will live at least 70 years. Indeed. We don't know. මැදට මොනවා හරි නැත්තම් සාම කියන්න බෑනේ. So depends. So we have a life cycle. Similarly, technology has its own life cycle, and we have talked about product life cycle. Product it has its own life cycle from the stage of introduction, and then goes to the market, and demand increases. Popular stage ඊට පස්සේ big line. So we see a lot of advertisement through television because organizations want us to know the product is still exists. Current production තාම තියනවා කියලා කියන්නේ advertisement දාන. Okay? So organizations do this and that and everything to keep the brand name and extend the life cycle of the product. So similarly, when it comes to technology, technology has its own life cycle, and researchers and the professionals say that it is just like an S-curve. Why it's just like an S-curve? Because it takes some time to introduce. So here, मैं वांचने आने पर तेरे बात लगी थी मैं एक embroidery. Embroidery की लेकिन आरा infant stage का अनुना देना वाली है तो मैं कि B आपको पहने का Y आपको पहने embroidery की लेकिन आरा ලදරුම අවස්ථාව මුලින්ම කාලේ we introduced technology, and then it takes some time to make people aware and develop the trust, and when we get into it, the use is gradually increased, and then thereafter, when we find something new or a replacing technology, we just stop the previous one and go for the other one. එහෙම තමයි වෙන්නේ. Decline එකත් හරි ඉක්මනට වෙනවා. Or the growth is growth එක හරිම ඉක්මනට වෙනවා. Decline එකත් time එක ගන්නවා. Right? මොකද දැන් මේක පාවිච්චි කරන තව අය වුණත් ඉන්නවා. අලුත් technology එකක් ආවම ඒකට shift වෙනවා. නම් පරණ එකත් අවුරුදු ගානක් පාවිච්චි කරන අය ඉන්නවා. But the growing stage or the period of spreading or accepted by new clients, new customers is comparatively short time period. Because when it comes to technologies, new technologies comes time to time. ඒකේ ඇවිල්ලා ඒක කන්වින්ස් කරගන්න confidence එක develop කරන්න යම් කාලයක් ගත වෙනවා ඊට පස්සේ ඉක්මනට හැමෝම මේක use කරන්න ගන්නවා. Just think of these AI technologies and all the other technologies that we use. We take certain time period to get the experience of it and to have the particular trust, and thereafter all are using it. So it's spreaded. And so that's how it goes. So these are the stages of technology life cycle. R&D, we do research and development, and we acquire and we implement, and then the growth stage, maturity, and decline. So technology life cycle is important because it affects our strategic planning and risk management plans, and to decide how we use it for achieving competitive advantages and resource allocation. So when we acquire technology, we have to always think of the life cycle of the technology. So, and the comparative investment. Who ගානක් දීලා technology එක අරගෙන ඒක ඉක්මනින් මොකක්ද කියන obsolete වෙනවා නම් it is not a good decision. We have to wait and think of having a good investment. And these factors affect the life cycle. Like us, our life cycle get affected by number of other factors. Technology life cycle is also affected. අපිටත් ලෙඩ වුණොත් එහෙම life cycle එක අඩු වෙන්න පුළුවන්. නේ? accident එකක් වුණොත් එහෙම life cycle එක අඩු වෙනවා. කෙටි වෙනවා. ලෙඩක් වුණොත් life cycle එක කෙටි වෙනවා. So like guys, the technology is also technology life cycle is also depends on number of other factors. Technological discontinuity. That use correct. So we acquire it, but we stop using it. So it ended up with an unexpected day. And then market adoption. Right? So how quickly and how the market competitive firms of the market get adopted to this technology. The speed at which technology is adopted by the market influences the length of each stage and the competition. When a competitive technology introduced, the life cycle of the existing one, short. ඒක expire වෙනවා. එතකොට කට්ටිය ඒක පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ අනිත් එකට යනවා. ඒ වගේ එක එක දේවල් වෙනවා. Life cycle එකේ change වෙන factors. And acquisition we discussed actually in the previous slide. There are stages of acquisition. I discussed with you that Robert's model. We have to do the assessment planning, and we have to select the particular technology. And why we apply technology, we already discussed. You can still go through these slides for additional information. I will discuss only the important areas. Okay, so then we have to discuss about traditional and digital business and digital business models. So I think better I discuss this one on next day because it takes some time. We have to do a kind of comparative discussion on traditional business and digital business. So we start, we have to go until 6 o'clock. I think better we discuss on next day, right? Okay, we'll discuss the traditional business and digital business on next day. And activity.